Randy, thank you for the time. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Unfortunately, Gail Benson doesn't have a horse in the Derby this year.
Yes.
I
That's kind of
know.
unusual, huh?
I know. Bummer, man.
We are a
Big
little bummed
bummer.
out. We're going to talk to you about some football and get your thoughts on the New Orleans Saints real quick. But yesterday, enormous news. Omaha Beach is out, which now has game winner as the favorite. What's this mean for Saturday?
Well, it's obviously a huge development. I mean, Omaha Beach was a horse that was really trending, as they say, in the right direction. He was a deserving favorite. It was finally an opportunity for his trainer, Richard Mandela, to win a Kentucky Derby. He's one of the best trainers in the world. And also, just as importantly, Mike Smith had a choice going into the Kentucky Derby to ride Roadster for Bob Baffert or Omaha Beach.
Oh.
He took Omaha Beach,
Mm.
even though he had won the Triple Crown for Baffert on Justify the year before, and now Mike's on the outside looking in.
Damn.
And Roadster's now a favorite as well at 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, Baffert has now got the three favorites
Jeez.
in the Kentucky Derby with the scratch of Omaha Beach. He's got game winner Roadster and Improbable. I don't know of a single time in the Kentucky Derby, in the history of the race, that one trainer has saddled the first three favorites in the race. So it's pretty unusual.
So, Randy, what's the story going in? That he has these favorites, or what if he does not win with the three favorites? How big is that story?
It's still wide open. Because none of those three are anywhere near the kind of horse that Justify was or American Pharaoh was. There's plenty of other competition in there to run with Baffert. Does he have an advantage? Yes, he has an advantage, but it's not by any stretch an insurmountable advantage.
We're talking to Randy Moss of NBC Sports here on 104.5 with 94.7 ESPN. And Randy, I love watching the Kentucky Derby every year, but I really have no idea about like the gambling aspect or how it works. This year, I want to throw some money on it. Can you give me just some like base level tips? If I'm a novice, I have no clue. And there's a lot of people out there listening in the same boat, but they want to be a part of it. What are some tips for novices to kind of enjoying this Saturday?
It depends on your appetite for risk.
Yeah.
That's what it all depends on, right? I mean,
Bobby Axelrod.
I tell some people exactly billions. I tell some people that that have a complete allergy to risk. Just bet horses to show. They finish first, second, or third. You get a little money back. You get a little action. It's no big deal. But the people that want to have a chance at least to swing for the fences without risking a whole heck of a lot, the Derby, one of the most popular ways to bet the Derby is called the Superfecta. So you have to pick the first four finishers in order. But it's a really cheap bet, and so you can actually play a lot of different combinations. Like, for example, if you like game winner to win, and let's say you want to put one of Baffert's other horses second, then you can put basically every other horse in the field third and fourth and swing for the fences and hope for a huge long shot to come in. And so, like last year, I think the Superfecta paid $19,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple of huge long shots in there. So that's a fun way to play the Kentucky Derby and at least give yourself a shot at cashing a big bet.
We talked to Miss Gale's representatives last year as she was getting prepared for the Kentucky Derby. What's her status? What's her reputation within the horse racing industry?
And who is that? I'm sorry.
Miss Gail Benson. Miss Gail Benson.
She's got a fantastic reputation in the horse business. I mean, I think she was the one instead of Tom that sort of drove the interest in horse racing. I mean, she was always a huge horse racing fan, and Tom was willing to get involved with her. So when Tom unfortunately passed away, she kept the ball rolling, obviously, and maybe even increased her involvement in thoroughbred racing with a farm in Kentucky. They breed horses. They spend money on decent horses. They're patient when the horses need some time off. I know the trainers that train for her, Tom Amos, Dallas Stewart, Al Stahl, just love her, and Greg Bensel, who sort of manages the stable for her. He's a huge horse racing fan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to answer your question, they have a great reputation.
Talking to Randy Moss of NBC Sports. Randy, what are you doing on the broadcast this Saturday? Where can people expect to see you?
Well, we're starting today at 4 Eastern. We're on NBCSN today. We got a couple hours going today, and then we're on all afternoon Friday on SN and then I think on NBC for the Kentucky Oaks. And then Saturday, literally, it's wall-to-wall coverage. We come on at noon Eastern on Saturday and take it all the way through 7 p.m. for the Kentucky Derby. I think the Derby post time 6:50. So, yeah, we'll be on till 7:30. It's a marathon, not a sprint for us.
That's a good joke considering Saturday, spring coming up. I can't wait though, man. You've got me inspired. I'm going for the Superfecta this year. I'm going to get paid. Speaking of getting paid, Saints fans, the NFL draft going down. Kind of an unexciting draft for the Saints in that, you know, when you have a second rounder and then fifth and sixth and seventh, like not a ton there to look for. But what did you think about what Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis did with some limited resources in this year's draft?
I thought it was just fine. I mean, I think what the Saints need more than anything else right now is a change in the officiating rules, so that they can call pass interference if the flag doesn't drop. You know, I mean, arguably the Saints could have been the best team in the NFL this year. So it's not like, or last year, you know. So it's not like they need to they need to do a whole lot to the team. Of course, you know, in the NFL, obviously, if you stay put, then you actually move backwards because everybody else is actively trying to improve the team. It's kind of like the business world. You're either moving forward or you're moving backward. But, I mean, there's nobody better than Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis at orchestrating things like that. And I expect the Saints to be right back in the mix again this year. They're a great team.
Randy, good luck on your marathon that starts today. We appreciate the coverage. We'll be watching Saturday as the 145th Running for the Roses with the Kentucky Derby on NBC. 5+ hours of coverage coming up on Saturday. That starts at 1:30. Randy will be on the broadcast. Appreciate the time this morning.
And we'll be trying to stay dry too. It's supposed to rain at the Kentucky Derby yet again.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.